we are going to roll right into our next media availability. We are now joined by Cole Custer, driver of the number 00 Stuart Haas Racing Ford. We will go ahead and open it right up to questions. So if you have a question for Cole, please raise your hand and I will get a mic over to you. Who would like to start us off? All right, we'll go over to Steven.
Steven Stump, Frenchers.com. Cole, we're approaching 10 years since your first ever win with the team back at Trucks in New Hampshire. Can you just talk about just what SHR means to you, and also just the legacy it's had since its formation?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Truck Series one wasn't with SHR, but starting with the Xfinity Series and going from there and seeing what that's built into since we started. I mean, it was a lot of work getting the Xfinity team started and how much went into that. And seeing it get a championship last year was really rewarding. So hopefully keep it going here. I mean, I think we really hit our stride in Dover and felt like we had a really fast car that could compete for a win. The rain had a little bit to do with stuff at Dover, but hopefully we can kind of keep that momentum rolling here and have a shot at winning this thing, because Darlington's one of the coolest places you can ever win at. So having a Johnny Sauter throwback this weekend also will be really cool, so hopefully give him a good run.
Any other questions? We'll go right back there.
Steve Post, Motor Racing Network. Just the momentum you're on, the top 10 finishes, is there any frustration with not yet winning, or are you confident where you're at to keep doing what you're doing? Just where are you at and trying to get down that first win of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think any driver or team that, expects to win, I mean, we're obviously a little bit frustrated we haven't won yet, but at the end of the day, I think we're really good as a group at just keeping grinding it out and communicating how to get our cars that little bit better. And I think it showed last weekend in Dover. So I know we have a great group around us. We just got to keep it rolling. And if you keep knocking on the door, it'll happen. So we just got to keep doing what we do. And I think we've had fast cars. We just got to keep the consistency going.
Chris Woolner, Motor Racing Network, and to go along with what Steve was talking about, I know last year, too, it took until Portland, and then that championship run really began. So what do you lean on in terms of what you guys learned last year and kind of being so close but not getting it done, but knowing at the same time it's about putting it together, the momentum together? So what did you learn about last year's run to Portland and that first win that could help you here in this year?
I think just being patient. It doesn't happen overnight. For whatever reason, I mean, we ended the year so strong last year. And this year there was a little bit of a rule change in the Xfinity Series. So I think maybe just adapting to that and getting everything back going how we were. We just needed a little bit of that. But I think at the end of the day, I think what we learned last year is you just got to be patient. Eventually if you keep working on it and keep finding the things not to do, and then you find the things that you need to do, it'll come to you eventually with how you need to get the cars. And from there, you just try and execute. Because, I mean, when you bring fast cars to the racetrack, it makes things so much easier, but you just have to communicate to get those cars where you need them.
Go ahead.
Steve Schweitzer of the Lexical Press. Cole, talk about this racetrack. Do you like Darlington? Is it intimidating? Do you attack it, or do you kind of take a cautious approach when you first get out on the track?
I think for me, it's usually a little bit cautious. I've been here actually last year in the second race. I hit the wall lap 1. So it's definitely a place you probably first lap or two, you try and just get your feet wet and see what the track has in store for you this weekend. But it's one of those places you just have to know when to be aggressive and when to just take what it gives you. Because that first half of the race, you don't want to get yourself in trouble and then you don't have anything for the second half. So you have to be smart around here, but it's always such a challenge. There's so many different things you can do. You have to run up against the wall with it being so slick out. And it's just one of those places you take a lot of pride in running good here.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I'd say I've always liked it. I feel like I've had some pretty good races here, and it's just a place you always look forward to coming to because it is such a challenge. And when you do run here, it is really rewarding.
Alex Hayden, Motor Racing Network. Monday you had a chance to spend time with PGA professionals. Then you had an opportunity to tee it up at Quail Hollow. What's more intimidating, going off into turn 1 at Darlington or hitting that first tee shot?
Oh man, it's about equal almost. I think I think coming here and knowing you have to be up against the wall, but then also going there and hoping you don't shank it off into the woods into somebody's head, is a little bit intimidating when you've never done it before. So it's definitely, I would say those two things are neck and neck.
Follow-up question. Who's your favorite Motor Racing Network broadcaster?
Man, I don't know if I can. I have to deal with you guys later today, so I can't do that. I'm not going to put myself in a box here.
The easy answer is the only female.
Yeah,
Wow.
definitely Kim. Yeah.
Rough crowd, that's for sure. You have a win here, but it was on a DQ. Denny Hamlin got DQ'd back in 2019. How do you process that? Do you want to cross the finish line first tonight? I mean, obviously it counts, but a couple years later, how do you count that win? How do you count that win?
I mean, I don't know if I go boasting around that I've won at Darlington, but it is I take a little pride in it because it is, a tough place to run, and we've always run pretty good here, and to finish to Denny is definitely a something to be proud of here. But obviously, I think it would be way more sweeter if you actually cross the finish line first. So I've been chasing that here ever since then, and I think whenever that happens, it'll mean that much more.
Do we have any final questions for Cole? All right, thanks for the time and good luck this weekend.
Yep, thank you guys.
All right, there's the checkered flag. Great job, driver.